Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. And as usual, we begin with the top stories of tonight. Concerning presidency, the head of state presides over the work of the 12th session of the Councils of Ministers. And on the international scene, the G7 called for the de-escalation in the face of rising tension between the two countries, Iran and Israel. Those were the top stories, and welcome back in our newsroom. On Tuesday, June 17, 2025, the Council of Ministers held its 12th meeting of the year at the Presidential Palace, led by the President of the Republic and Head of Government, President Ismail Omar Guelleh. And during the meeting, the ministers discussed several draft laws that were on the agenda. Let's now listen to the government spokesperson report.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sous la présidence de Son Excellence M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, président de la République, chef du gouvernement, a eu lieu ce mardi 17 juin 2025 la 12e séance du Conseil des ministres. En début de séance,
At the beginning of the session, the President of the Republic and Head of Government, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, outlined to the government members the key directions concerning the Third National Development Plan (NDP) 2025-2030. He emphasized that while the current context is marked by significant economic progress, it also presents persistent challenges. Between 2013 and 2024, the Republic of Djibouti doubled its GDP significantly and strengthened its infrastructure and productive sectors. However, for the country to emerge by 2035, a greater push is required in response to global geopolitical and economic uncertainties, the effects of the pandemic, and social pressures linked to poverty. The new NDP 2025-2030 will be built around four strategic pillars: economic diversification to reduce dependency on the port sector and enhance high-potential sectors such as agricultural, digital technology, and tourism; human capital development through education, training, and health to harness the demographic divide; promotion of sustainable development and climate resilience; and last but not least, strengthening governance and business environment to attract investments and uphold the rule of law. Aligned with Sustainable Development Goals and African Union's Agenda 2063, this new plan is intended to drive inclusive, sustainable, and job-creating growth. A strategic steering committee will be responsible for translating these priorities into the formulation process of the NDP 2025-2030. Furthermore, in response to the rapid evolution of the regional situation and the unprecedented escalation of tensions in the Middle East, particularly due to Israel's continued military aggression against the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Republic of Djibouti categorically rejects and condemns the recent attacks carried out by Israel since the 13th of June, which constitutes a violation of international law and the principles of the United Nations Charter. Our country emphasized the absolute necessity of respecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states, as well as the principles of good neighborliness and the peaceful settlement of disputes. The Republic of Djibouti calls for an immediate halt to hostilities and for de-escalation leading to a comprehensive ceasefire. Our nation stresses the urgency of establishing a nuclear weapon-free zone and a zone free of other weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, applicable to all countries in the region in accordance with international resolutions, and for all regional states to adhere to the Treaty of the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons (NPT). Djibouti highlights the importance of not targeting nuclear facilities protected by the International Atomic Energy Agency and of complying with United Nations Security Council decisions while calling for the rapid resumption of negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. We reaffirm that only the path of dialogue, along with respect for international law and the United Nations Charter, can lead to lasting peace. Finally, the Republic of Djibouti remains firm in its condemnation of the ongoing aggression against the Palestinian people, who continue to suffer daily from bombings and the humanitarian blockade. Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development. First question: draft law of the ratification by the Republic of Djibouti of the agreement relating to the United Nations Convention of Law of the Sea concerning the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. The Republic of Djibouti, with a coastline of 372 kilometers in a maritime area of about 7,200 kilometers, reaffirms its commitment to the national implementation of international instruments related to the conservation of biodiversity. The ratification of the BBNJ agreement will allow Djibouti to actively participate in international negotiations and actions concerning the conservation and sustainable use of oceans, seas, and marine resources in support of sustainable development. By signing the agreement on 9th of May 2025 and by accelerating the ratification process, the Republic of Djibouti reaffirms a strong commitment in line with the numerous declarations of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, on the urgent need to preserve ocean ecosystems for future generations. Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Marine Resources. Second question. Bill approving the financial settlements statements of the National Office for Water and Sanitation of Djibouti ONIAD for the 2023 fiscal year. For 2023, ONIAD's fiscal statements report revenues of 9.7 billion Djiboutian francs and expenses of 9.733 billion Djiboutian francs, resulting in a non-deficit of 39.2 million Djiboutian francs. Ministry of Defense and Charter of Relations Department. Third question. Bill approving the financial statements of the Military Retirement Fund for the 2024 fiscal year. The 2024 CMR financial statements report revenues of 3.12 billion Djiboutian francs and expenses of 3.14 billion Djiboutian francs, showing a slight deficit. Revenues mainly came from social contributions totaling 2.37 billion Djiboutian francs, slightly increased, in a state of subsidy of 745.9 million Djiboutian francs, a significant increase of 321.7 million Djiboutian francs compared to the previous year.
The Council of Ministers also discussed other issues on the agenda. Tuning again to the spokesperson of the government, Abdul Qadir Hussein Omar.
Ministère de l'économie et des finances chargé de l'industrie. Quatrième question. Projet de loi portant ratification de l'accord de financement au projet d'entrepreneuriat des jeunes.
Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry. Fourth question. Bill ratifying the financing agreement for the Youth Entrepreneurship for Climate Change Adaptation Project signed on 6th of February 2025 between Djibouti and the International Fund for Agricultural Development for a total of 10 million US dollars, about 1.8 billion Djiboutian francs. The project aligns with national priorities in climate resilience. The concessional loan is over 40 years, including a 10-year grace period. Djibouti will also contribute 4.18 million US dollars to the project. Fifth question. Degree publishing the results of the third General Population and Housing Census conducted in 2024. This census, in line with the Global 2020 Census recommendations, utilized modern and digital tools for accurate and complete data. The final resident population of Djibouti is officially established at 1,066,809 inhabitants. Sixth question. Order establishing an institutional framework for the development of the NDP 2025-2030. The framework aims to consolidate gains, tackle present challenges, and steer the national economy towards inclusive and sustainable structural transformation. This decree ensures the plan is rigorously and currently formulated in line with results-based public financial management principles. Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs in charge of Human Rights. Seventh question. Degree granting approval to the practice law, Mrs. Rahima Musa Dawali, in accordance with law number 236/and/87/1st of Legislature of January 25, 1987. Eighth question. Order appointing Mr. Muhyiddin Musa Farah as Deputy Director of National School of Judicial Studies. Ministry of Budget. Ninth question. Order allocating a plant of land in Humbuli to the Djibouti Public Transport Community for the construction of a showroom and vehicle maintenance center. Communications. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, also government spokesperson, presented a report on his participation in the ministerial meeting of coordination of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation held from 11 June 13, 2025 in China. He had a bilateral meeting with Mr. Wang Yi, Foreign Minister of China, during which he conveyed greetings from President Guelleh to President Xi Jinping. Both reaffirmed the strength of the strategic partnership between Djibouti and China and discussed several joint projects. He also met with his counterparts from Madagascar, Libya, and South Sudan on regional matters. He praised China's initiative to create the International Mediation Organization and called the rapid ratification of its funding treaty. The meeting concluded with the adoption of the Changsha Declaration, a framework document for future China-Africa cooperation. Ministry of Economy and Finance presented additional details on the census as of May 2024. Total population 1,066,809. Djibouti City 700,067. Other regions: Ali Sibih 76,000, Dikhil 66,000, Tajora 60,000, Arta 48,000, and Obokh 47,000. Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources reported the launch of 300 kilowatt solar power plant on June 16, 2025 in Umar Jaga, Arta region. It will be the largest rural solar installation in Djibouti, covering 10,000 meters and expected to take 8 months to complete. Minister of Youth and Culture reported on her participation in the ministerial meeting of the Youth and Sports Commission of the Indian Ocean on June 12, 2025 in Victoria, Seychelles. Ministry of Muslim Affairs and WAF provided a report on the successful 2025 Hajj mission marked by strong organization, coordination with Saudi authorities and major technological innovations. Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development shared a report on his participation in the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference held from 9th of June to 13, 2025 in Nice, France.
Enfin, le ministre de l'Environnement et du Développement durable a fait un rapport de mission relatif à sa participation à la 3e conférence des Nations Unies sur les océans qui s'est tenue du 9 au 13 juin 2025 à Nice, en France. Merci.
And now, this press release, foreign ministers from 22 countries condemn Israeli attacks on Iran and call for peace. Foreign ministers from Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, Pakistan, Bahrain, Brunei, Darussalam, Turkey, Chad, Gambia, Algeria, Comoros, of course, Djibouti, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Somalia, Iraq, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Libya, Egypt, and Mauritania strongly condemn Israel's recent attacks on Iran. They call this action a violation of international law and one of serious threats of international to the regional stability. The ministers also expressed a deep concern over rising tension in the Middle East and urge an immediate stop to hostilities. They emphasize the importance of a nuclear-free Middle East, respect for national sovereignty, and protection of nuclear facilities under international safeguards. They call for a prompt return to negotiation to peacefully resolve the Iranian nuclear issue. The ministers also stress respect for freedom of navigation in international waters and affirm that diplomacy and dialogue are the only path to resolve the crisis, rejecting military solutions. New missiles hit Tel Aviv again as a fighting between Israel and Iran continues. On the 5th day of the war between Israel and Iran, Tehran fired 20 to 30 missiles on Tel Aviv, according to Israeli news. Israeli emergency teams said 5 people were injured. Some buildings were damaged, including an 8-story building in Halzia, where people are trapped under debris. The Israeli army said it is Air Force bombed Tehran, the capital of Iran. Earlier this morning, the U.S. President called for the immediate evacuation of Tehran, but gave no other details. The Pentagon sent the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier and its group to the region to protect U.S. interests. On the economic side, an Israeli news site said that Sonol, a big fuel company in Israel, has cut its delivery a lot. And still concerning the war between Israel and Iran, the J7 group today called for calm in the region as tension rise between Israel and Iran. On Tuesday, the Group of 7 urged a reduction in regional tensions, stressing that Israel has the right to defend itself amid escalating military clashes with Iran. In a final statement after the summit in Canada, the J7 said, "We affirm that Israel has the right to defend itself. We clearly confirm that Iran will never have nuclear weapons." The group also called for the resolution of the Iran crisis to lead to less violence in the Middle East, including a ceasefire in Gaza. The J7 described Iran as a source of instability in the Middle East and reaffirmed their support for Israel's security. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump left the J7 summit a day earlier to return to Washington. Let's come back now to the country's news. On Monday, Djibouti marked World Food Safety Day led by the Djibouti Agency for Standard and Quality and under the patronage of Mohamed Warsamadiriye, Minister of Trade and Tourism. The event was attended by a representative from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the World Health Organization, national authorities, parliamentarians, private sector stakeholders, and technical partners. The celebration focused on the theme of food safety, highlighting the key role of scientific data, standard, and monitoring in preventing food-borne illness, protecting consumers, and supporting fair trade. In Djibouti, food safety is a national priority based on vigilance, science, and the commitment of everyone involved. MP Miguel Hassan Farah, chairman of the Parliamentary Alliance for Food and Nutrition Security, emphasized the legislative support for strong and comprehensive food governance. He stated, "We will continue to support adopting laws that align with international standards. Food safety is a shared responsibility," he said. Representative from FAO commended the ongoing efforts of Djibouti in advancing food safety and nutrition. He renewed his strong commitment to supporting Djiboutian authorities in their mission to promote safe, healthy, and sustainable food systems that protect consumers and foster resilience. He also encouraged the reinforcement of monitoring and control mechanisms, stressing the role of scientific data and international cooperation in fighting against foodborne illness. The representative also expressed optimism about Djibouti's progress and pledge to continue offering technical assistance and capacity building resources to ensure long-term food safety and nutrition outcomes. And for his part, MP Miguel Hassan Farah, president of the Parliamentary Alliance for Food Security and Nutrition, also took the floor to reaffirm the legislative branches unwavering support for strong, inclusive, and science-based food governance. MP Miguel Hassan Farah emphasized the importance of adopting laws aligned with international standards to ensure food safety, underscoring that it is a collective responsibility shared by all stakeholders. He further highlighted the need for continued collaboration between government bodies, civil society, and private sector actors to build a resilient and transparent food safety. And according to MP Miguel Hassan Farah, sustainable food security requires not only robust policies, but also active engagement and awareness at all levels of society. Taking the floor, the Minister of Decentralization, Qasim Harun Ali, emphasized the critical role that local governments and decentralized institutions play in ensuring effective food safety management. He highlighted that empowering regional and municipal authorities is very important to implementing food safety standards at the grassroots level. The Minister stressed the importance of coordination between central and local entities to enhance monitoring, raise public awareness, and respond swiftly to food safety risks. He also called for increased investment in local capacity building to support sustainable and inclusive food systems across all regions of Djibouti. In his address, the Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mohamed Warsamadiriye, under whose patronage the World Food Safety Day event was held, reaffirmed the government's commitment to promoting safe and sustainable food trade practices. He pointed out that food safety is not only a public health priority, but also a key factor in boosting consumer confidence and facilitating fair trade both domestically and internationally. The Minister of Trade and Tourism highlighted ongoing efforts to harmonize national regulation with international standards to enhance the quality and competitiveness of Djiboutian food products. The Minister concluded by urging all stakeholders to collaborate closely in safeguarding food safety and supporting economic growth through responsible trade. And heading now to Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, where last night, during a modest ceremony, Mr. Hassan Issa Sultan, Inspector General of the State of the Republic of Djibouti, and Executive Secretary of the Forum of State General Inspectors of Africa, known as AFIJ, was promoted to the rank of Commander of the National Order of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. The Grand Chancellor Ali Koulibaly personally awarded him this high honor in the presence of an audience made up of senior Ivorian officials and African dignitaries who gathered to pay tribute to a man whose integrity has never wavered even in the face of storms. For years, he has worked tirelessly to strengthen a public oversight mechanism across Africa. At the helm of Fiji, he has championed the fundamental values of transparency, justice, and accountability. And still with the national news, the festivities caravan celebrating the 48th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Djibouti made a stop yesterday evening at the former Bufar Military Hospital. This emblematic event brought together citizens, dignitaries, and representatives of civil society for a heartfelt tribute to the founding sacrifices of the nation, a cultural and patriotic celebration animated by local artists and performance troupes. The evening transformed the historic site into a showcase of national pride, artistic performances punctuated by patriotic songs emotionally recall the long journey towards sovereignty, honoring the sacrifices of past generations. And still with the national news, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, in partnership with the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency TICA, officially launched this morning a dedicated training programs for trainers on photovoltaic energy systems. The ceremony took place at the Industrial and Commercial High School and was attended by several senior officials, including the Director General of the Technical Education and Vocational Training, Abdul Qadir Ahmed, TICA Coordinator, Dr. Onur Yassar, Inspector General of Education, Abdullah Farah. This two-week training program aims to provide the latest technical knowledge in the field of photovoltaic energy systems. It seeks to equip vocational school trainers with advanced skills to meet the growing labor market demands in the solar energy sector, The sessions, both theoretical and practical, will be delivered by Turkish experts and will cover the fundamentals as well as advanced aspects of photovoltaic technology, enabling trainers to gain solid expertise and master the latest innovation in this field. In his speech for the occasion, Dr. Onur Yassar, coordinator of the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency TICA, emphasized the importance of this initiative in supporting youth empowerment and the energy transitions. He did not fail to express his gratitude to the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training for their cooperation and to the Turkish experts and all stakeholders who contributed to the success of this project. For his part, the Director General of Technical Education and Vocational Training, Abdulkader Hamad, emphasized that this training is part of a strategic approach aimed at meeting labor market needs by equipping young people with specialized skills in the promising field of solar energy. He encouraged the trainers to demonstrate dedication, curiosity, and perseverance throughout the training period. He also highlighted the importance of continuous learning to keep pace with rapid technological advancement. Mr. Hamad expressed confidence that the trained professionals will contribute significantly to the development of sustainable energy in the region. Another news, the Djibouti Institute of Arts and Cinema, supported by the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, held a ceremony to start the official preparation for the 48th anniversary of Djibouti's independence. The event was attended by government officials and revealed the main plans for the upcoming celebrations. Mr. Mohamed Abdullah Mahyoub, as Secretary General of the Ministry, and other senior officials attended and stressed the importance of culture and education in remembering national independence. In his speech for the occasion, Mr. Mahyoub spoke about the important role of young people and artists in strengthening national values. The Institute, as a key part of promoting the country's art, presented a rich program including traditional dance, art exhibition, poetry nights, and theater shows. A show about Djibouti's history and its fight for independence. This year's celebration will include strong participation from local schools, an art group showing how education and culture work together. There will be also workshops and competition for students every year to involve young people actively. The meeting room of the National Library of the National Agency for the Promotion of Culture hosted the National Ownership and Planning Workshop for the implementation of the M2ECI project. The workshop was led by a project expert and attended by the extended national teams, chaired by the Director General of NPC, Mohamed Hussein Douale. This workshop marks a key milestone in the operational launch of this project, establishing a supportive ecosystem for entrepreneurship in cultural and creative industries funded by the European Union and implemented with technical support from UNESCO. The morning session focused on 4 training and participatory reflection modules. The goal of the day was to foster lasting synergy among all stakeholders to build a strong, inclusive, creative economy rooted in local realities. In a festive and friendly atmosphere, the State Secretary for Youth and for Sport launched this afternoon the major multi-sport challenge called Le Challenge Total at the Salama neighborhood. This unique sport initiative is centered on participation, performance, and especially the inclusion of Djiboutian youth. This challenge through a true urban sports caravan invites young people of all ages and genders to try several disciplines along a set circuit. Participants are called upon to complete 4 fun and technical events in succession: table tennis, the kickball, shooting, accuracy, and juggling to win a prize. Each competitor must successfully complete all stages of the course. The opening ceremony brought together a range of personalities, including the Secretary General of the State Secretary in charge of sport, Khadija Ibrahim Idris, the Director of Regions, Omar Hassan Abdullahi, and Ibrahim Hassan Ibrahim, Director of Sport. In Al Sabih now, refugee students from the Ali Adde and Hol camp began their 2025 baccalaureate exams this Monday. A total of 104 candidates are registered this year, marking an important milestone for these young people from refugee communities who are determined to shape their future through education. A delegation led by the sub-prefect of the Hol area, Mustafa Hassan, visited the exam centers to ensure the smooth running of the test. The visit was attended by several notable figures, including the regional education inspector, Mohammed Aden, the coordinator of refugee schools within the Ministry of National Education, Hussein Douali Sugi, as well as regional elected officials and representatives of the military authorities. This supervisory arrangement aims to guarantee a calm and fair environment for all candidates, respecting the standards set by the Ministry of National Education, which is responsible for the full organization of the exams. Moving on to the world news now. The United States is set to kick off the new format of the FIFA Club World Cup this Saturday, marking a major turning point in the history of the competition. For the first time ever, the tournament will bring together 32 clubs from all 5 continents in a quadrennial format similar to that of the FIFA World Cup for national teams. This edition stands out for its exceptional diversity, featuring players from 81 different countries playing for clubs or representing 20 nations. One of the most anticipated matches will see Al Ahly of Egypt face off against Inter Miami from the United States, a truly unique and unprecedented fixture. So that's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and have a good night.